Now you are, I mean, obviously you're a man of conviction. If you've got something on your mind, you say it. You've got no problem being vocal about it.
Yeah, it's my biggest flaw. No.
Do you bring politics into your lyrical stuff? I mean, did you watch the president's speech the other night?
Not specifically. No, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of anti-establishment concepts that are going around the record, you know, and in my music, because just the whole idea of I'm not big on authority figures, you know, especially where do they divine their authority from. But as far as specific politics, I kind of feel that that's personal.
Right.
You know, like I will not agree with Kerry King on a lot of things. I'm not a Kerry King dude, but I'm a Jeff Hanneman dude. Whisper, whisper. But I do agree with him when he says, leave your fucking politics out of your music, because sometimes you need to just shut the fuck up and keep your, I mean, I'm glad you can speak your mind and express yourself, and that's the whole point, especially of this nation. But I'm not here to have people dog my music just because they disagree with my point of view on how taxes should be dished out, you know? So I walk a fine line on that. I would really have to have some serious conviction toward anything to focus on singling out an issue to write about. And even if I did, I don't want my songs to be dated or hackneyed, so I try to make things more universal and more applicable in a timeless sense. So, like our song V, again, very anti-government, anti-establishment, but at the same time, it's not a call for anarchy or anything. It's playing on like Alan Moore's themes, which I thought were very sophisticated and very precise, and you get to draw from so many different facets of how you can feel toward that particular sort of oppression. But yeah, politics is a dangerous game. Don't fuck around too much. Sometimes music is still entertainment, and I want people to be entertained, even if they connect to it emotionally. I don't want them to get all down and have to start worrying about where they stand from a partisan sense. You know, fuck that.
Now, you were originally going to close the album out with a cover of Wasp's "Animal, Fuck Like a Beast." What made you switch to Fleetwood Mac's "The Chain"?
Elvis, a producer who dug our shit and we were vibing with, he was not, like, we threw that out there because we were so stoked to do it. Especially because it wasn't released in the 80s, except in, like, Japan and shit. It couldn't be released here because of Tipper Gore's whole movement, and I thought that was kind of cool that we would get to release it. His stateside, kind of, like, not a lot of people know that song, and it's probably Wasp's best song. It's such a good tune.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we were stoked to do it. It kind of fit part of the style that we were doing. Elvis didn't dig it, and he kind of gave us the wincing grimace. And I was kind of shocked because he's such a huge Kiss fan, and he's such a huge 80s rock fan, and that's kind of exactly what Wasp is. They're like the 80s rock Kiss.
Yeah.
You know, if Kiss kept the makeup on and went balls out, they would have been Wasp. But he didn't dig it. We were tentative. I didn't want to do anything that he wasn't going to be 100% about, because I wanted everybody who was working on the project to be all in. And we decided maybe Def Leppard's Mirror Mirror would be better, because it's very akin to the style that we do. It's like the early Def Leppard, where it's still kind of like the Maiden sound, but rock, like AC/DC meets Iron Maiden, which is kind of what we go for. You know, balls out rock, but with badass harmonies and killer guitar work, and big vocals. And the label was weird on that because they felt we already had that sound. There's no use in doing, or there's, you know, why do a cover that we already have the sound to? I was like, okay, I dig on that too. And Mike, he was just thinking about songs. It was about The Chain, because we used to talk about how dark Rhiannon is, and how a lot of this shit is just so heavy without even trying to be heavy. And Elvis lit up when we said that, because he was like, oh, fuck yeah. And I think he thought of it as a challenge immediately, and that's what stoked him to do it. And that made us think, shit, you know, this is kind of a departure from our sound, but not really, because it's big vocal harmonies, big guitars, big choruses. That's what we like to do. And we can totally do it our own. We can do for this what Metallica did for Bob Seger. And that was a huge, like, right off the bat, we're going, fuck yeah. And there's no reason that a new generation of kids shouldn't be able to dig on this tune the way everybody else has dug on it for fucking 30 years. So that was cool. And we kind of touched on those aspects of our songwriting in Close Your Eyes, with our acoustic kind of ballad-esque approach to a big song. And this was a big song, and why go small?
It is a big. It's my favorite Fleetwood Mac song. Yeah, it's my favorite Fleetwood Mac song. But I've got to tell you, this rendition is like my favorite rendition. I'm just digging it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised that Tantrix wasn't like the end-all, be-all cover because they're such an awesome acoustic band, and that's a predominantly acoustic song. You figure, the approach to it is to clean guitars and stuff, and you figure they would have owned it, but we really went out of our way to try and make it the best that it could possibly be, you know? If you're going to do a cover, you got to try to not do it better than the original, but if you don't do it better, you need to do it your own way. Like, there are a ton of killer covers. Like that Killswitch Dio was a great cover because they did it, and it sounded like Killswitch doing it. When System of a Down did Snowblind from fucking Black Sabbath, it was the shit because it didn't sound like Snowblind, and it sounded exactly like Snowblind, you know?
All right.
Yeah, it was definitely System.
So
We're having a small argument in the car. No.
So did you actually record the Wasp track, or did you just shelve it?
No, not yet. We have not. We're going to in the future. We have a ton of covers that we want to do. We have a whole list of. And we're kind of pissed off that Cedar did that George Michael song because we wanted to do it bad, and they did a good job. Like if they did a shitty job, we could say fuck them, we'll do it better. But they did a really good job, so now it's kind of blasé. We have to pick some more tunes. We're gonna do it. We did a Black Diamond from Kiss on when we went in to record a new song for God of War 3, which is a killer tune. That comes out in March. But while we were there, we had some extra time. We're like, fuck, let's do another track, and we did Black Diamond, which was the shit. Came out awesome. There's another one. Like, if you need to do it your own way, we added some shit to it, took away some shit, and it came out the way we would do it. And it's fucking, it's a real nice nod toward our boys Kiss. If you go online on iTunes, it's in the special edition version of the new record, which I didn't realize was going to be available like immediately. I thought we were going to have to wait for a second pressing or like a special edition in stores, but it's available right now. Even if you already picked up the record at the store, you can buy it on iTunes for like $1. We have the 3 extra tracks on iTunes. V, which is one of our oldest songs that we made sure to record when we hit the studio because we all love the tune, and it's a shred epic. Like, we keep it pretty tasteful on the record. We have big solos, but we don't have like ridiculous, self-indulgent solos, whereas V is totally off-the-wall, big Megadeth, long, fucking awesome. Just dropping the fucking hammer. It's great tune. That, we have Can't Leave You Alone, which is like Iron Maiden meets Eddie Money. It was just a little too poppy for the record. It still rocks. It's like Scorpions, Iron Maiden, Eddie Money, and fucking Outfield all in one. But I don't even know. Fucking, if you like All American Rejects, you would like it. But if you like fucking, like I said, Scorpions, you'd like it. It's a weird tune, but it's good. And it's one of my favorite solos because I kind of wrote it on the fly. I didn't have anything. And a couple of my favorite tunes on this record, the leads are just, shit, I don't have anything for this part yet. Give me 20 minutes, and then here we go, let's track it. And it fucking came out really well.
Excellent.
So that shit is all. If you picked up the record and you didn't get a chance to hear these tunes, they're totally worth your $1 a piece. Or if you haven't picked it up yet, go on iTunes, $12, and you get like 15 songs.